Last week, I announced that I was going to do a webinar for a very niche audience, which is the Airbnb host audience. I said that I'm going to teach them the Airbnb algorithm for 80 bucks, and I generated over $50,000 in sales with no ad spend and just a few YouTube posts. How this is possible, I'm going to tell you in this video. If your long arc play is to be a serious content creator, an educator, an expert in your space, and you want to do good work, this is how you're going to do it. My name's Sean Rakijic. I've built 4 multi-million-dollar businesses, and I've scratched my way through content by hand on my own for the longest time, all the way down to the video editing. I've learned a lot in this space, and I hold the biggest Airbnb YouTube channel on the internet. I've been the biggest dog for about 3 or 4 years on the space now. And I'm at the point where I just announced that I'm going to be doing something that costs money and people will buy it without question. And that's a pretty good relationship to have with an audience. I'm going to teach you how I got there so that way you can do the same. Let's go. Welcome back, gladiators. If you want to generate a loyal audience over time that is sustainable, that will pay you forever, that will respect you, and that won't ever just die because you portrayed them by accident, this is the philosophy of approach I think you should be embodying. Now, the way that I got so big on my little niche YouTube channel about how to run and scale an Airbnb business, it was because I never attempted to monetize in the beginning. And I think this is super important for a few reasons, and this is why you should not monetize right away. When you're making content first, your content's not going to be as good as it's going to be later. You should be focused on the art form of value delivery. To learn to weave a call to action to get something out of a customer is a whole other topic. To learn to construct a product that you can get paid for is a whole other topic. If you're not skilled at online marketing, building websites and funnels and webinars and all this other stuff yet, that's okay. And you should start building your audience while you figure that all out. And you should keep those topics completely separate. What happened to me is I started seeing in my comments where people were saying, hey, I was waiting for you to drop some bull on us. I was waiting for you to try to drop a course or try to sell us something, but I've been watching your videos for a year and you've never done one shitty thing ever. You finally have won my subscribe click. Thank you so much. And what's really cool now is that relationship that I have with my audience has permeated to the word of mouth association. I talk to people at seminars that I speak at now. Of course, I talk to people that I run to in the streets or at the airport, and they're like, hey, whenever anybody wants to learn Airbnb, I say, go check out this guy's channel. He teaches it for free. He doesn't ever ask for anything. He's the coolest. That's still to this day, even though now that I'm selling things, people still treat me and regard me the same because I did first put in all of the legwork. I absolutely put a ton of value out for free, which helped to prove that I really knew what I was doing. And it made me more relatable too. When you make content and are not planning to ask for anything, you're not going to have this weird body language like you're setting up to ask. I'm a tenured sales professional, so I'm going to ask you to trust me on this. If you're going to try to sell somebody something in a video, it's going to come out way earlier in the video than you think it's going to come out. It's just going to come out in your demeanor. It's going to come out in your body language, your mannerisms, the tone of your voice. They're going to tell that something is up and that you want something. So the easiest way to build trust with an audience is truly not to want anything from them, at least not for a while. This will give you so much opportunity to learn your creative style, to let your personality come out and shine. And all of your content will be from you, altruistic, generous, it'll be clean, and you'll be able to build a loyal base of followers. The sooner you try to monetize a following, the sooner you will start to lose people because they're just disappointed that that's the way that you went. If you do a poor job of attempting to monetize your audience, you could gaffe so hard that you will lose audience members who weren't going to buy anything anyway, or maybe could buy some stuff, but you just did such a bad job of trying to convert them into money that they're offended at your attempt at converting them into money. We've seen tons of influencers online that really do push to sell products, and a lot of us would assume that they are successful, but what we do find is that people are running a massive amount of ads for stuff. Running ads even further deepens this hole in which you have to produce in order to cover your ad costs, which means that you have to be even more pushy than you were before to try to get something sold. So when you commit to trying to sell something and then you commit to running ads, you commit to a line that no longer puts your audience first, you're no longer protecting them. By generating content without asking for anything, and then without running an ad campaign to try to generate sales, without basically betraying your own integrity, you can build a safe audience. And what's cool about this is the growth factor for your safe audience will be so much faster than if you were the pushy guy. And your long-term audience size is going to really benefit you. If you have a core group of people that will speak on your behalf and say, yes, this guy's legit, and they'll fight for you in the comments when somebody's like, this guy's a scam, that's going to be so good. Now, I took too long to get around to it. I took over 2 years before I started to monetize one-on-one coaching, and I used something called Clarity. There are other sites online also where if you're an expert, people can pay you for your one-on-one time. I think this is a great first way to sell something and just let it drip organically. You can have that link quietly placed in the description of your videos and never even mention it for months and months and months. And people will watch your videos and then they'll dig around. If they're looking for a coach coach in your area, they might just click on that link even right away because they needed a coach. Now, after 6 months or so, you've grown a really good audience. You've proven that you know what you're talking about by being generous with information. You're not withholding back all this stuff and saying,
hey, if you want my real secrets, buy my course, because that's so cliche.
Give away so much that it even scares you how much you're giving away. Because what's really funny is people who have the money to buy a course, they end up not wanting to sift through all of your content. They're gonna want a course that delivers all the content much faster in a much more organized way, and they will pay for your course anyway. Even if 90% of what you teach is in your free content, it's scattered throughout your free content. They're not gonna wanna dig and spend 30, 40, 50 hours digging out all of your content. I can tell you from experience, this is exactly how it works. People with money wanna save time. People without money will put in the time to learn from your free content, and they will be your best brand ambassadors on the planet. There's a good balance to this. Next, I would put out a product that allows you to set up a 1-2 punch eventually. I would recommend you take the best subcategory of your topic that you can and make a course or a product on that. In the Airbnb short-term rental world, hotel world, it's called revenue management. It's a very important topic in our space, very much underserviced, and not a lot of people talked about it. And I was able to generate $17,000 in sales like the first weekend that I put the course out, and then it just started paying me for a while. Now I priced that course for volume. I wanted a volume product because that volume product allowed me to get people's information and build a relationship with those people. You'll have a Facebook group that you've set up, and you'll have your Instagram account where people will follow you and DM you questions. And between your Facebook group and your Instagram and your YouTube channel and your TikTok, you'll have what we call cross-pollination, where you've got audience members watching and engaging with you in multiple places. And then you've got this smaller product where people put in their email and their phone number and they bought something. And if you delivered good value on that first product, you're now winning people's trust on the paid side. You want your first product to really deliver the value. You do not want to get caught pulling a Tai Lopez where you just push some junk product at somebody. Now, if you've been following the whole Andrew Tate content controversy, there's a guy that ripped Andrew Tate's strategy apart. He basically made a Ponzi scheme out of his Hustlers University. You can make money by pushing his $50 a month membership and you get a commission. What this did though is an unethical version of what we're trying to do, which is create people that will say nice things about us and our products. By giving everybody a commission and having some affiliate marketing agreement for your course, that's one thing. And I don't recommend that you go this affiliate marketing route, because after Andrew Tate, it might create this more Roman scorched earth approach and people may not be down to adopt that. And I really don't think that it's ethical either. But once you've delivered a lot of free value and you've got momentum as an actual educator and influencer, and then once you've sold a small mini product that has the trust of the people, then you could eventually sell a larger product, right? The point of this video is how I sold a $50,000 webinar with only a few video posts. My growth strategy for my main products business, right? My main course, products business, and these mini courses is I've always told people you do not need to buy a course. You do not need to pay for information. A lot of it's online. You just go find it and dig it up. And what happened is there was a time-sensitive topic that came. This was about Airbnb's algorithm. Airbnb changed their algorithm and people's listings are starting to have a hard time. And so I decided to do a video to educate people on how Airbnb's algorithm works from my experience. And I did a hyper time-sensitive, we're going live in a week. Here's how and what you're gonna learn. It just got so much traction because my trust factor was so high with my current narrative that people know I'm not trying to push products every day. I barely promote anybody else's products. I barely promote mine. And so when I did announce what seemed to be a pretty urgent webinar, I already had the trust factor that people just bought in knowing that this content was probably worth it for the price, considering the narrative. They didn't even think twice about it and the product sold like that. And now that the product is no longer a upcoming webinar, but a past webinar, we more than doubled the price and said, hey, get it now if you want to get the past recording. And now we've got a steady trickle of webinar sales for a much higher margin in some static site now. And it's just generating cash, which is super cool. But if any time within the last 5 years, I took the opportunity to sell my course and pushed it too hard and ran a bunch of ads, then when a genuine moment to do a genuine rare product like this algorithm webinar, when that moment hit, in that alternate world that I did something sketchy, I wouldn't have generated the same amount of sales from this organic webinar. The fact that I didn't have to run any ads, and on an audience of less than 250,000 YouTube followers, 150,000 TikTok, 20,000 on Instagram. This just goes to show that it is the relationship with your active audience and their sentiment in regards to your value delivery that will define whether or not you can sell a product. And the harder you push a product, the harder it will be to sell a product in the future. So if you're looking for tactics, how to create content scheduling, how to diversify your content against other creators, we're going to talk about this stuff. But remember, here at Gladiator Method, the thing we care about most is high value delivery while maintaining integrity. And I promise you, we are in an era right now where people see through bullshit. So if you ever try to do the cheap cliche stuff, it's gonna come back and bite you. You're gonna get a low quality of audience. And in the world of education product sales or consulting or coaching, if you ever want to sell a high ticket item, remember the people with the money for a high ticket item are not silly or stupid people. They will see through your junk. And that is why my course sales, we don't run any ads. We'll do $100,000 to $200,000 a month in course sales, no problem, because the people with the money know where to go. They can see right through all the people that are running paid ad campaigns going, hey, I could teach you how to do Airbnb, just buy my course. They know already that they don't have to buy a course to get most of the content. And whenever they feel like they need an extra push or mentorship, they already have such a high trust level with me that they're not going to go anywhere else. It's more than just selling $50,000 in webinar tickets in a week. It's building a forever relationship with people that trust you, and they will defend you online, and no one will be able to tear your castle down. There's going to be more to come, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. It means a lot. I'm so excited to do this new channel with all of you. And as always, I'll see you on the other side.